When I'm doing faces, I tend to practice a little bit off the piece, but I've gotten fairly used to it. I usually work directly. But in this case, I just wanted to show you a little bit more about how I use the split stitch. I mean, the faces really are a combination of lines and filled in spaces. And I have used the split stitch here on these lines already. It gives a nice surface. And I'll probably use it again to outline the applique here to clean up the edge. But the other thing I use it for is to fill in spaces. It's a great filler, actually. It gives a really nice tapestry effect. And I'm just going to show you, I'm going to add an eyebrow here. And it's a really handy thing, since I'm going to be using a dark color. A trick that I use is to actually fill the space in with a dark pen. I tend to use these pens as guides because I'm always targeting covering up what I've drawn. It's an easier way to see where you're at. So I would fill, you know, like when I do the magic feathers, I always draw the black part in. And there's several reasons for this. One is it's easier to see where you are. And then the other reason is that if you don't make your stitches close enough, the dark underneath will hide some of your flaws. So I'm going to start doing my split back stitch. And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to cover up that edge. And once I get one full line done, be sure to smash your stitches down. That really spreads them out to the maximum and really makes them smooth against the surface. I hope you can see this blue against black here. Anyway, when I get to the end of the row, I'm going to go down and split the stitch. That got messed up at the end there. Down and split the stitch. And then come up at the end of the row, going in the other direction, and just do the same thing. Now what happens is this stitch does spread out really easily as you go, especially if you smash it. And it will really fill in a surface nicely. Looks almost like that tambour Indian chain stitch embroidery. And gives a really, really nice full and flat surface. Now the other great way to use a split backstitch is to fill in an area around a motif that you may have found that's, you know, maybe just part of what you need. I thought this looked like a mouth. And this is one stitch that I use to merge a cloth motif with a thread motif. And you can see I've done a little bit of the stitch along here just to continue it, and I've drawn the area that I want to fill in. Now I could also use a red pen to fill this in, but I feel fairly confident that I'm going to cover this up. So again, got too many needles going on here. Okay, I'm going to start my stitch. And what I'm going to do is work this color right over the edge of the ragged edge. And I'm going to use this stitch to actually glue the edge of the applique down, and at the same time use it to merge the color. with the area that I'm filling in, so it'll connect to the red that already exists on the fabric. Now of course you're going to want to try to match your thread as close as you can to the color you're working with. And this forms a really nice kind of a tapestry effect. As you fill in, it's really hard to tell the difference between, as you can see, I'm not a very neat thread clipper here. You're coloring in basically in an empty area where you couldn't fill in with fabric. It's a nice contrast of texture. You're still going to get your image. It's a really nice sort of a drawing technique. And as you can see, this stitch really does a really nice job of filling in an area.